Welcome to Abnormal, the podcast for normal people who want to do abnormal things. In this episode, I sit down with the team behind world #1 tennis player Aryna Sabalenka, Andrei Vasilevski, Aryna's hitting partner and manager, and Anton Dubrov, her head coach. Among many things, we discuss what actually goes on when celebrating a Grand Slam win, how the team replicate the pressure of a Grand Slam final in training, and what exactly makes Aryna world class. This episode is not just for the sports fans, it's for anyone wanting to live an abnormal life. We get unfiltered access to one of the highest performing sports teams in the world. So without further ado, let's dive in. Enjoy the episode. Andrei, Anton, welcome to Abnormal. It is a pleasure to finally have you on. How are you fellas doing?
Oh, good. Thanks for inviting us. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're excited to talk to you through the main topics.
Hey, well, this is actually the second time that we've done this podcast, but we only did about 5 minutes last time because we had to reschedule because the connection wasn't so good. You guys were in Wuhan, in China, for the tournament over there. How was that? How was that for you guys? How did it go?
That was pretty good tournament. I mean, we didn't get where we wanted, but we lost in the semis. I think I lost in the semis, but overall, I think after the US Open, it was for us not so much time to prepare, but that was pretty good quality-wise, and I think Aryna played as best as she can. So right now, our focus is just be ready for WTA finals. That's what we're doing right now in Dubai.
So you mentioned it there, Anton, the US Open. Now, it would be remiss of me to ask, just as a sports fan myself, how were the celebrations after that US Open win?
still going. no, I'm joking. No, I think it was first it was a huge relief after the whole year. Not like be really close, but not get there on the slams. And I mean, the next day after the final, I didn't feel well in the morning, but it doesn't matter. So no, I think overall, I think the biggest celebration we had, maybe Andrei will agree with me here, was after the first slam, after Australian Open in 2023. And after those celebrations, nothing can beat anything else.
Go on, Andrei. What was it like then after winning that first slam?
Well, after the first slam, we survived like maybe for first 20 minutes. And after that 20 minutes, it's completely blackout. So, you know, like that on the phone, we still have those videos from that party. But honestly, I've never watched them because I feel so embarrassed. Yeah, that was. I mean, we deserved it. We had a great time, but on the next day, I mean, next couple of days, I would have to say, we felt like terrible, but it was excitement.
That's so cool, man. I would love to be a fly on the wall in those celebrations, any Grand Slam celebration, to be honest. So then, I mean, I wanted to get into this stuff a bit later, but since we're on the topic, like, how does it compare then? Like you said, the first one's is the most special one, and nothing compares to the first one. When you go into these Grand Slams now, you're kind of, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but are you expected to win them since Aryna is the world #1? And does that kind of change the sentiment and feeling about the team when you do end up going to win them again? Does that change the celebration slightly?
The celebration side, I think it's still the same kind of feeling, but it's just it's same but different. So before you're chasing something, you really wanted something big and huge. And I think a lot of people kind of stop after they achieve something, where we can see sometimes big success, and after this, like a huge gap, nothing is happening. And this is where, like, when you can actually shift your focus and actually kind of change the goals and understand what's next for you, then the win the next slams is kind of even bigger challenge. So right now you are the one everyone is chasing for. So you experience different pressure on the court. So you experience different expectations from everyone. and lots of time, like right now for Aryna, she is number one. Uh, most of the players are gonna show up on the court and gonna play like 110, 120% of what they can, because it's nothing to lose for them. Like, okay, if they will lose, okay, they will say they lost. If they will win, it's gonna be like kind of one of the highlights of their career, maybe. Or they won against world number one. It's also one of the parts you can see in the career stats. So you have to be ready for those expectations from everyone, even from yourself. You have to be ready, like mentally first, but also the game wise. You have to know that right now you're not just like trying to be on the same level. You actually have to increase your level, because everyone's gonna increase their level, because they're gonna play much more risky right now. So when you did a great job, you did it, like you got your like level higher and you won again. This celebration is more about, yeah, we did a great job. So we actually being aware of all those things, and we still like succeed. So it's just different, like focusing. Before you been just okay, we're gonna put everything just to win, and after the first slam, after the first win, you're like, okay, so what's happened? What we need to do next? What's everyone gonna do right now against us? And all those expectations and everything around is just kind of just different work and different experience. So you also like you celebrate a kind of your work right now that you can maintain all this.
Yeah, I'm really excited to kind of dive into the weeds when it comes to how it's not just a one-person sport, you know, and you guys are the team around Aryna, and how you preparing her has changed over the years from, as you say, chasing that first title to now being chased every single week, every single competition. But I probably should have done this at the start, guys. For the listeners, I need to actually break down who I'm talking to here. Right. So Andrei, could you help us understand what it is? What is your role within the team, and what your kind of day-to-day work entails with Aryna?
Yeah. So I'm working with Aryna. Well, I think I have a little bit of adjustment during the time I've been working with her, because I started as I stopped my career like 4 years ago, and I reached out to Aryna and Anton if they would be interested to include me in the team. So I joined the team as a hitting partner, as a sparring. Then definitely I was also helping on the coaching side. I was helping Anton as an assistant coach, and apparently in a couple of years I kind of switched my role, but still doing all the other things. So I'm doing more like on the management side right now, which is organizing Aryna's schedule, which is very tight. Talking to all the brands, and that's most of my job. You know, I'm keep saying that I'm wearing a couple hats, but it is what it is. For us in the team, for everybody who's working, it's the most important to over deliver, because it's not only like that you come to the job and just did what you have to do, but at the same time you have to every day think about how you can improve yourself, how you can make and kind of a bubble out around Aryna, so she feel comfortable, and to improve and increase the availability of every team member. So this is what we do.
It's so unique because you're working with the world #1 tennis player. It's not like an office job, right, where you can just go in, clock out, pick up the salary. You guys have to be on it every day to improve yourselves, because if you're demanding that standard of Aryna to be like, right, you need to get better at this, you need to get better at that, and then you're not doing the same yourselves, that doesn't set a very good example. And Andrei, I'm sure you've kept very busy since the #1 seeding, with all the management stuff and all the brand deals coming through. I'm sure that's been fun to learn and get your head around.
Definitely, but as I always say, that it's a good problems to have. You know, Aryna's she's phenomenal on the tennis court, and she's doing amazing and on the business side as well lately. So it brings me a lot of work, but I'm very happy with that.
It's a great problem to have. And Anton, over to you.
Pretty easy, just one job. Just I'll call myself. Everyone called me like as a head coach, but I don't know. I just like call myself as a tennis coach because I believe that in our team we don't have the one who's okay. This is the one who's like a head coach. We kind of all going together. We communicate. Like I have a Jason on my side who's helping me a lot. He's our performance coach. And so, as Andrei mentioned before, like we have to over deliver. We have to create like a safe bubble where we can share our thoughts and what we think we should do on the court and off the court. And this is where I think where like in our team, I feel like if someone is somewhere can be like a drop, like energy wise or like missing. So another like team member can kind of take his spot for a while, bring some energy more. So you always like kind of, it's just like the whole team is kind of like as a coach. So you're
Yeah.
just like trying to create this space where everyone gonna feel like that they've been trusted in their workspace.
And how long, Anton, have you been working with Aryna?
I actually started in 2019, like only with Aryna because before I used to travel with her, but I was working on our national federation. So I used to travel with Aryna like for a long time, but just with Aryna from April 2019 as a hidden partner. And then in 2020 in September when she has no coach and we've been actually talking with her where we can find someone to help us, to help her. I share my thoughts what we can try. She tried one or two coaches and she said like I'm not ready for like anything, just not ready for the new people. Maybe we can just like practice and let's see how it goes. And she just randomly won 3 tournaments and we decided okay, we just need to keep working together. And so it's like 5 years right now.
Wow. So Anton, then, as the quote unquote head coach, I know you've been very humble there and said we're all head coaches, but someone's got to be the head coach. I'm really interested because a tennis player and their coach is a very unique relationship, and it's very important, right? Every spectator watching on TV, they'll know who the head coach is from the camera going up to the box every single time. So I'm sure it's a decision that the player can't take lightly, and they need to give it some serious thought. So what were those conversations like initially with Aryna, and what do you think that she saw in you that she maybe didn't see in other potential coaches that she was thinking about maybe working with?
Um, she actually asked me like what I remember this conversation we had when she tried few coaches and she asked me like, what do you think I should do? And I said then the main one is like if you feel that something is not like you don't feel that something is working for you, like whatever someone is saying, or you can you can try, you can listen why, but if you feel it's not like relying on like it's not yours, just you don't have to do it just because someone said it to you. Like we have to find the way and you have to find the way that it's not just the only one unique way that it's like one coach tell you, oh, this is the only way. No, it's not. And you have to understand first that you have like constantly improving yourself. You cannot just okay, this is our goal and that's it. There's nothing like we can achieve and that's it. There's no final line here. And back in the days, we had this conversation when she was like 22, so still pretty young. And like I said, like it's like you're like on the start, so there's so many things you have to improve, but you don't have to go with like a bigger step. If you will just understand like what you have to improve, and if you can do it like every day, just understand why we're doing all this work, and you will see that actually some improvement. That's mean you're like on the right way. But it's also mean like if you feel that something is not working and your feedback is straight away like, I don't feel this kind of working for me. I don't feel this way. I want to do it like a different way because I can trust. Because for the player, if he is not trusting, she is not trusting, even on the practice, what she's doing, like how, and there is no success. We cannot see it like something is improved. She's not gonna trust it during the pressure moments, and this is the biggest thing. Like what you deal in all those fundamentals is for them to work on the most important time, like on the pressure moments. So if you not building this trust, this connection, there's no way it's going to work on the biggest stage. So with the small steps, with creating this trust in your game, with understanding and improvement every day, if you're going to lose your, if you're going to lose this kind of understanding and feeling like, okay, why I'm here, like it's also okay for you to come and talk openly, not trying to hide. Like, oh yeah, I'm still working, I'm still motivated. Yes, you can be motivated and working, but with no purpose. So I I tried with a lots of help of Jason when we started, like three of us, me, Jason, and Aryna, is again to create this like a safe bubble where we can share thoughts. When she can come in the morning and say, you know, guys, I feel like shit today. I don't want to work, and we just step by step, word by word. In 30 minutes, she's on the court, she's smiling, and she's doing something. So she's okay. That was kind of it's happened. It's happened to everyone, but it's what are you gonna do next? Is just to accept who you are, but also understand what you have to do to be the best, and just step by step go there.
So how many of you are in the team? You
A lot.
yourself, Andrei, you two, Jason. Jason's their head of performance. Is that what you is that right?
Yeah, he's our performance coach. He's like helping a lot with the physical part and the mental side. We have physio, Helen, and also we recently Max Mirny joined us after Wimbledon. He used to play. I don't know if you know about Max. He used to play from Belarus. Also, was I think first male tennis player, because we had before like only female, like Natasha Zvereva. She used to play really good. She was in the final of Roland Garros, and Max was the first male start to play like on the high level. I think he won maybe, I don't know, 7, maybe more slams. I'm not
Wow.
sure.
So what's his
In
role
doubles,
in the team?
I actually asked him to join us as a second coach, just to share his thoughts, his experience. Uh, he used to play like really aggressive style, go lots to the net, serve really well. So all those areas that we think that Aryna should improve even more that's where we see his biggest value. And I think it's also pretty good to have someone who is like kind of like a fresh, like eye, like looking, and helps me also a lot to see like another approach, what we can do and how we can do it better.
So Andrei, you've joined the team relatively more recently than Anton, right? I'm not getting the dates wrong. You're newer to the team than Anton.
I mean, I think I joined like 2021, which is already almost 4 years. So yeah,
relatively, but still an old head.
Yeah, still like spend.
What was your transition like into the team? What were your first impressions of the team environment, the team culture when you first joined? Anton, you can go on mute.
Should I say the truth? No, I mean, I knew Anton and Aryna since they were young kids, and I saw them growing up. I saw Aryna for the first time, I think, when she was like 13, because we've been practicing at the same facility in Belarus. And yeah, that was one Aryna that I knew from. And also, like, I used to play professional, so we had to meet on the slams and spend some times together, but it was, more like a friendship, But ever since we start working, you see it from the other side. You see it from the side like where she actually have to make a decisions, which kind of decisions she's making, what's her environment. And yeah, I mean, I always knew that she was very disciplined, but I mean, she is disciplined, but at the same time, she have a great team around her who's helping to make everything happen. Yeah, as Anton mentioned earlier, like, yeah, it's a teamwork, and sometimes Aryna just need to follow like what the team and Anton and Jason telling her. And yeah, I was pretty happy to adapt to these conditions, because this is something what I've been looking for, something for a very high level. And yeah, that's what it is. And the team is amazing. So yeah, the main thing what I mentioned is I would say overall is a discipline and everything. How is everything organized and on a very professional side.
And what was the motivation, Andrei, for yourself to transition from a professional player yourself to then make that switch to join the coaching side of the sport and then join someone else's team and kind of put an end to your professional career?
Yeah, um, it's a different challenge, because when you I used to play lately. I used to play doubles, more just doubles, and doubles. That was funny, not funny story actually, but I've been playing doubles. I was ranked like top 50 at some point. So it's you making a Grand Slams, but you're not making much money. You're playing some lower level tournaments, and I found myself, on a challenger in the middle of France, which is one very tiny village, and I'm there by myself. I had no team. I wasn't able to afford a team, and you have to do on the every day, and yeah, sometimes you're just questioning yourself. Are you what's the purpose? What's the reason? What's the perspective? And perspective, and then yeah, you just make a decision. So okay, I have to stop. So I decided to stop, and then what would be my next step? And definitely, like, yeah, I would love to join like a team who's striving for something big, and I always knew that Aryna have a huge potential, and she was already at that time like top 5, I think. But at the same time, for me, it was very challenging and interesting to not just take care of myself, but also like to give to the person and to help as much as I can, and yeah, just to try to see what's my capability to be not just helping myself, but also like helping the team to get more success.
I love that. It must have been a pretty tough decision. I can only imagine, like having those moments to yourself and those thoughts when you're alone in France playing these tournaments. I mean, I myself was an ex-professional athlete, nowhere near your guys' level, right? My sport was rugby, definitely not tennis. No, I'm nowhere near talented enough to play tennis. But there was also a moment in my career where it was like, you probably need to have some internal thoughts here and say, you might not be as good as you thought you were when you were a kid, or maybe your body's not made for it, which was, a thought that I would have a lot in my career. And so, Andrei, again on you here, what was that like mentally for yourself to actually have those conversations? I'm not saying it was the same for you as it was for me, but there must have been some internal dialogue you were having with yourself around this decision-making time.
No, I think it was a decision which wasn't made, just instantly, because I've been struggling like for last year probably. Even though it's crazy because at the same time I was, let's say, in doubles I was top 60, 70, top player, like top 60 in the world.
That's
So like
crazy.
in different category, like not singles but doubles, but still it takes a lot of time, and sometimes not sometimes but always you have to go to the gym, you have to practice every day, you have to like give everything, but in return you was not getting what you was expecting. And yeah, that's why this decision come up. But yeah, I definitely have a lot of internal conversation with myself, but yeah, at the end of the day I was exhausted. I was exhausted doing it, and yeah, that's why.
I love it. I think it's such good honesty, Andrei, because it's the people like yourselves, and you made top 50, top 60 in the world at tennis doubles, which is fucking insane. And you're the ones having these conversations to yourself in a tournament in France, and it's like it's guys like you and athletes like you that don't get the spotlight, which are is just crazy with the amount of effort, and your whole life is dedicated to this one thing. But it just goes to show in individual sports how you really need to crack whatever the top 50, top 40, top 30 to actually get the fruits of your endeavor, right? To get the sponsors, to get the payment, which makes it, what you guys are doing with Aryna even crazier, knowing the background of your story, Andrei, of your story, Anton. So Anton, I want you to talk about Andrei. How important is it to actually find the right hitting partner for someone like Aryna?
Not important. Not
important. She could just use a wall, right? Just hit up against a wall.
I mean, with Aryna, I think Andrei knows much better right now. I used to be as a hitting, and first of all, you have to have a right, like, quality wise, you have to be good, and second, you have to be like adaptable, like a lot adaptable, and the third one, you have to be patient, like a lot. You have to prepare for anything that can happen with you, and you have to really understand like who she is right now, what she is expecting from you, what she wants, and sometimes it's tough, sometimes it's funny, and we try. It's just life. Sometimes it might be tough to be with her on the court when she really wants something. She can be nervous, and you have to deliver everything that you can, and she expected from you. So she's actually using you as the kind of like you have to be like you have to deliver everything and be ready that it's not no one gonna say like in the end, okay, thanks for what you're trying, like because it's actually your job, kind of. You have to be on the top all the time. So I think Andrei understands this, like he's doing really well, and I don't know, for me it was like uh, really helpful because at the time when before Andrei joined us, we used to be on the court like together with Aryna. So I was on the other side of the court playing with her, trying to tell her something, kind of scream over the net. It was not that easy. And with Andrei joining us, first it's helped me a lot to be more with Aryna on the other side. And then it's also like helped me like to increase the level of the hitting because Andrei bring his game who was like higher level than mine, and it's increased our preparation. Then he helped me a lot, like also with his thoughts and views from the coaching side. So it was this kind of the step of improvement from the whole team to be better. So yeah, that's simple.
And I'm sure there's 101 things that goes into making a champion and a world #1 tennis player. But you mentioned it earlier, Anton, that really your job is to try and put a bubble around Aryna and also prepare her for those pressure moments and those points, the 1 points that are high pressure where she needs to perform, and they're going to be make or break, right? They're the ones that Grand Slams get won on. So as a performance team, how do you replicate that intensity and those pressure moments in training sessions?
The first, I think, important part that you actually you mention this part. You're saying, okay, let's remember, like I said, like, we can remember like previous match or some big matches maybe she lost or she won. Like it doesn't matter. We can see, especially after when she loses something, we can say, okay, there was like key points, what she did, and sometimes what she did is not the wrong decision actually. Sometimes you have to accept the fact that someone is overplayed you. So we have to understand, is actually something happened that Aryna did not right, or is something where we were not good enough. And then on the tennis court, some point when you doing something, you cannot replicate and like do the same like stress as you wish she can do on the practice as the same as on the match court, but just mention it, just saying like, hey, right now like it's 5-5 break point for you. Just to have it in the head is helps you to focus different. It's help you to understand like why you want to return here or why do you want to serve here. it helps you to be like more aggressive, or it's actually help you to find the right decision. It helps you to trust more, because if you just thinking about it, okay, this is the score, this is the moment, and you doing like the right decision, the right technical part on the practice, it's built again this trust, where then when she's on the match court, her muscles remember, her body remembers everything, and she's like, yeah, I did it before, I knew how to do it, I know how to do it. And yes, it's higher stress, but at least you have some fundamental, because she understands why we did all this work before on the tennis court on the practice. And then it's kind of not easier, but then you can be like more like open with conversations, and okay, after the match we can see if all that work that we did before is actually was the right one, is actually help you to be uh, in the pressure moments to find the right decisions. And we also, I think we changed the idea of like, okay, this is the right decision. Also, it's like kind of tricky part. It's like, I remember when she was losing some matches, and then she's like, oh, it's everything in my head. I just did like a stupid decision. And I'm like, there is no stupid decision. It's kind of, if you decided at this moment, that's what you're gonna do. That means that you trust in this. That means this is where, like, from all the options, this is the one that you think is gonna work best for you. And if it's not the right decision, this means that all the work that we did before, it's either like we didn't do enough, so you're not trusted, or we did something wrong, so you decide to pick something else. So you have to understand there's no like wrong decisions. This is the only, if you decided this, that's what you felt was the best for you right now in the moment. So on the practice, we have to really understand what is your strength, what you have to do, or if you prepare for someone like some like specific opponent, you have to understand what's going to be the best, but you like to play against. But you also have, you need to have those tools. Because if you don't have tools, you know what to do, you just won't be able to do it on the pressure moment because you're not ready.
That's so interesting. That's such a great way of framing it. Because I was going to ask, like, how much of it is mental, how much of it is physical to the both of you. But it sounds like, Anton, from what you're saying, is like all the preparation that you do as a team. Your job is to prepare her as best as possible, to give her the arsenal, and to give her the confidence to select the right tool from the arsenal, and give her as many weapons as possible, and have the confidence that she can execute them in the pressure moments. And then the mental side of it is actually selecting the right weapon for the point that she's in, for the battle she's in, for the moment she's in. And it's like, right, having the physical preparation, but then also the mental clarity and composure to select the right option at the right time in the heat of battle, in the pressure moments. So it's like, I mean, I love tennis, right? I'm shit at tennis. I'm terrible. My wife's dad is an ex-professional tennis coach, so every time I go see him in summer in France, he tries to teach me, and he like ends up pulling his hair out, and he's so ashamed to have me as a son. But I know how much of a mental game it is, because I'm someone, I consider myself relatively calm under pressure, at least with things that I know I'm good at, like rugby. But when it comes to tennis, I don't know what it is. It's just, I'm only hearing my own thoughts in my head. Like, I will double fault my way through a set, and there's nothing I can do about it. So is there any tricks? I know it's just reps, repetition, but is there anything that you've done over the years as a team to help Aryna, or yourselves as athletes, as coaches, as high performers, any mental tricks that you guys do or have learned over the years to kind of help you give yourself that edge, or give Aryna the edge in those types of pressure moments? Andrei, we'll start with you.
Well, we need Jason for that, because he's the one who's helping Aryna a lot with dealing with the pressure moments. But yeah, Aryna, she's handling pressure well. I don't know, like from us, especially on the court, when we're trying to give any kind of a coaching or a tip, like she very rarely hears us. So, and at the same time, we usually just giving very basic, just just basic things, just focus on yourself, because sometimes she's distracting on different things on the courts. But yeah, the most important is just to focus on yourself, focus on the things which you can control, and not to get distracted on on everything what's around you.
Because I saw like in obviously like the US Open win was massive again, and I know you guys have just come from Wuhan, like we spoke about, and she lost in the semi-final, was it? I think it was semi-final, and again, this is me just like clicking on social clips and watching some of the highlights, but I know she lost her 20 match win streak in Wuhan, and there was a moment in the game where she threw a racket at the net and broke the racket or whatever, and that obviously from the outside that's like an expression of anger, of emotion, or of like a break in mental clarity. I don't know what you call it, right? But would that be something that you guys discuss, or she then has a trigger after that to reset?
We had this conversation because she's like she has a really interesting personality. She has lots of fire inside, in a good way, I would say. But it's just in the press, she's just getting too much, and sometimes she just has no idea like what to do with it, how to handle it. So yes, for us, it was one of the first things we have to find the way what we have to do. And I was like, you can just break the racket. It's just like, it's fine. If it's gonna help you to win the match, it's gonna help you to win the tournament. Who cares? Just break all the rackets.
Wow. So you tell her to use that as an outlet.
It's not like, because it was not me like as a trigger go and break it. But at least she knows it's not the best way. She doesn't want to look like this. But if she can break the racket, for example, it's gonna help you just have some relief. And after this, to refocus. So this is, I think, the biggest thing for like everyone, like on the big stage, like what Novak is talking about a lot is everyone has those moments where like their focus is shifting somewhere. You're like drowning in your thoughts and you overthinking. Like, doesn't matter. You can be 100 in the world, number one in the world. It's just kind of different, but it's still the same. It's more about how you shift back, how you bounce back. So you just let it go. You kind of telling herself that okay, I'm aware that I'm right now in this like moment where I'm like out of control and everything. And it's straight away just much better for you. Okay, I'm a control situation. You find the relief in this, and then you, as Andrei mentioned, you go with basics. Basics are the best because this is what you can control. You can start with breathing. You start with one simple thing, like just breathing. You find control in breathing. Then you go, okay, I don't know what to do on the court, for example. And if she can hear us on the court, we just say her, like, just move your legs, kind of just be more like aggressive with your legs. Because tennis, like fundamental part, like 80% of the tennis is your legs. So if you have no idea what to do, you're going to breathe and you're going to move your legs. Most of the time, you're going to win the match. So all those basics is going to bring you back the rhythm and control. That's going to bring you control over your game and your mind. So it starts with physical part. That's going to bring you control of your mental side. So it's something physical you have to do all the time to bring back the control. And also from the mental side, it's also mentioned that the only thing you can do is like do your best. You have to adapt. You have to be ready. But it's more about whatever you're doing, like crazy stuff. Basically, it doesn't matter. There is no guarantee. You have to always be ready, and you have to be always ready for the next one. You have to be ready that someone, let's say, like you're number one, like Aryna number one, and someone's gonna show up and say, like, you know what, today I'm gonna return the best in my life. So wherever you serve, I'm gonna be like returning like incredible, even better. And you have to accept the fact that you cannot just, okay, it's not my day. That's not your point. You're like champion's not doing it. You have to find the way. You have to accept. You have to understand that there's no guarantee that you're number one, someone's like 40, that you're gonna win straight away. You have to be ready. And that's what actually all this kind of small details is kind of is level you up game after game just because you're doing it every time. Again, there is no guarantee. you can lose the match, but again, if you show up the next match and you're still doing it, it's just percentage wise, you're just gonna be better. Just because you're aware of it.
All I'm hearing is that there is no secret to becoming a world number one tennis player. It is purely hard work and 0.1% improvements every single day.
Yeah.
So there is no cheat code to becoming a world number one.
There is no cheat code, unfortunately, but it's also a good part.
Yeah, it's very simple. Like, you gotta put the hard work, like doing it consistently. There is a funny example. Like, there's a lot of people struggling with losing weight, and somebody actually lost it, and they're asking him, "How'd you do that?" And say, "Well, at first you gotta eat less and and eat healthy." I'm like, "Oh, okay, again, it doesn't work." So yeah.
Yeah, but now, fellas, there's Ozempic, so that's really pissed me off because now there is a cheat code. Now there is a shortcut.
It's pisses you off, but for me, it's like a chance.
Yeah. It means you can eat what you want, and there's always going to be a fix. Now, fellas, I do want to talk about that like health and nutrition side of things as well, because I think you guys are in such a high performance environment. It would be remiss of me not to get into this. And especially because I think tennis is unique because it's such a long season and you travel to literally everywhere in the world, pretty much. So there must be certain things that you do to aid in Aryna's recovery and energy and streamlining her nutrition routine. So how do you guys all manage that? Is there anything in particular that you do? Country to country, tournament to tournament, what are the things that you take or you bring with you that are your guarantee, your staples, that this is an absolute must, that Aryna needs to bring this with her, needs to take this every day?
We started actually like a few years. I will just start from the beginning. It's like we with Jason spoke a lot about it. It's just like kind of step-by-step process. First, you have to kind of handle the tennis part, then all the parts that gonna help you to be ready, like fundamental. And one of this is nutrition actually. And the first thing we look at was like food, like what we eating. We found a way of what Aryna is like, what's the best for her, what food will be better for her before the match, what she can eat during the tournament overall, like what she can have. Then as we get to this step, okay, what we can do, the next step is like what kind of like supplements, like vitamins. We bring a lot of like kind of, we had like, I remember once I saw Jason's bag was like just half of the bag is just like a supplements, and it was just like a lot. You kind of eating like lots of pills. It's like it's gel, but it's fine, but still like not the best digestive wise. And then so we always like trying to chase. So how we can improve, how Aryna can take less, but still have what she needs. So we try to find any kind of like supplements and the products. And I remember like I've been watching. I think it was on Instagram, on YouTube. I just found like a commercial with Beckham. I was like, straight away, you cannot not watch it. Like, again, like it's David. Like,
he's so good looking. You've got to watch it.
Yeah, you're like, well, whatever you're taking, I want to take it. It's actually how it started. And I was asking Jason, like, hey, do you know like the product? I didn't even remember the name. I was saying like about like it's David Beckham. He's like, yeah, I think I have it with me, and like gave it to me. Was like, I am 8, and I never heard about it before. So I started, I think, in the beginning of the year, like maybe in March, and I was starting it in a few days. Like I think we sat in the same house with Aryna, and Aryna was like, hey, like, what are you taking? Jason being like also like with me in the kitchen, he was like, hey, you want to try? Like it's something like just like a new product. They just launched in November, just a few months. Anton is taking it for like a week, and I felt great. I didn't tell her yet because I was like, okay, is it just because of the Beckham? But for real, like you don't want to believe it. It's like first, like just because it just believes too much in the product. And it was like a small sachet, like kind of not that big. And I was reading the ingredients. I'm not that kind of like guru with ingredients. Just Jason explained me like just they covered like basically everything you want for like your immune system, your performance stuff, your digestive. And I was like, okay, I want to try it. And I was like literally, I didn't take anything else. And I was like, I feel kind of a bit more fired up, like during the day, kind of more ready. Feel much better. I think I said in a few months later on, I spoke with the one guy who worked there, and I said like it's so weird. Like I actually have some like skin problem, and I didn't take anything else. Didn't like I still using the same, but there's few parts like it's on like on my body of the skin. It's just like it's gone. Like I don't know why. Like it's just for me.
Just
But
some of the
for
magic
Aryna,
ingredients.
yeah, like I have no idea. They said like they have no idea. Like they didn't like even like trying to do something like on the skin type, but probably something was like from ingredients that's my body been missing. And what we did, like when Aryna starts using the IM8, we just did like a blood test, and you can see that the mark is just like better. That's what you want, especially when you travel a lot. And the first thing you want to do is just feel better. You want to kind of like, especially when the body is like experiencing stress on all the levels, just like because of the matches, obviously because of the lot of like hours of practice and the volume and travel side. You always travel the jet lag and everything, so you want your body to be like the immune system. Again, like fundamental part should be like really solid. And we found out that actually IMIT is working really well for us. So the whole team started using it, and the
So
whole team
you're
is
all using it.
yeah since March. Like everyone is using it. Like we have
Oh
it,
wow.
and we have like I think for me it was the biggest thing is like it's just like a sachet. It's not a pill. You have everything you want, and it's have like a NSF certification for the sport, so you can
So as
trust
in,
it.
so there's no banned substances, so Aryna can
Yeah,
take it without
yeah. So
without
you can
stressing.
trust it straight away. You don't need to like recheck or like obviously we did it, but you don't have to do it because they
Yeah,
did all the stuff
NSF
already.
certified. Yeah, for
Yes,
sport, for third party testing.
and only like after this, I'll obviously only in a few months I start to like kind of look a bit deeper with saying like and I see like lots of kind of studies that they've been using like Mayo Clinic, the like some I think was NASA experts. So it's like it was just so interesting to see the way they've been working, and you just even trust more in the product. And besides the fact that you trust, you can feel it. So I'm still using it a lot. And some I remember like I think it was like a few weeks ago. I've been back home and I didn't have any like IMA, and you're like, okay, can someone send it, please? Like, you just I just need it.
You sound like an addict, Anton.
Yeah, kind of.
I need it. I need it in my veins.
Yes. I
And
don't know, maybe
Andrei,
yeah.
Andrei, when you were before you were working on Aryna's team, were you taking anything like that? Were you like carrying a load of supplements around with you as well?
Yeah, I mean, as a professional athlete, you need to try to adapt to like your body and understand what you need. But you know, my whole life I was very skeptical about it, so I felt like because all the supplements, most of the supplements you take, yes, you don't see the result like instantly. You know, with the overall with the time, yeah, maybe you can see something, but yeah, it's not that I really trusted it, but I was doing it because yeah, it's healthy, you know, and you need to fulfill your body with the supplements. But a funny story that when Anton told us about when he was start drinking IM8 in March, and him and Jason advised me to try the product. And you know, I'm always very skeptical. Like, and they say, yeah, you start feeling better. Like, really, like your energy increasing. And I'm like, yeah, guys, of course, yeah. All right, let me try. And I was, yeah, very skeptical because, like before, by consuming any supplements, yeah, as I mentioned, like you don't feel much difference, and you know that is helping you, but it's not something that you actually mention and see. So then I start drinking IM8, and apparently, like in 3-4 days, start feeling that got a little bit more focus. I feel more energized. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Because I was never admitting that
Fair enough.
something that I consuming is really helping me. Because I was like, okay, yeah, I have to take it because of something, because somebody said that it's good. But that's the biggest difference, because you start consuming, you start using it, and you feel different. You feel different. Yeah, and your guts are much better. You feel digesting much better, and also
and anything to get the
but
as we said, like the 1%ers, right?
Yeah, but the most important, really, like, you actually noticing that you're feeling better and more energized. And I was really surprised with that. So yeah, every time when I'm telling it to people, I feel like I'm selling it, but it's not.
I just want to add one part is like, as soon as I started using it, like obviously like my friends who like came to the my house, they're like, okay, so what is it? Like, what is it? Like, just like travel, bring something. I'm like, you want to try? Want to try? They're like, just right now, they're like asking like when I'm gonna bring more. They're like, we'll love it. But on a serious note, like there was one friend. She's living like in, I think she's living in New York, and I saw them, I think in March, and I gave them, I don't know, maybe like 30, 40 sachet, and she texted me like in a few weeks. She's like, it's so weird, like, and she has like a terrible like cramps during the period, like the girl stuff is just like she just killed her, like, and she's like, you know what, like, just like it's like my second day, like, just should be like the most like difficult part, the most like hurts a lot, like, and I feel like 2 out of 10 with pain wise.
Wow.
And she's like, I don't know, like, she's like, anything I'm doing right now is just like IM8 and chamomile tea, so probably tea is so good. I'm like, maybe. And
maybe the
no,
team,
she's
maybe
still,
the
yeah, she's like, and I was like, maybe it's just like, okay, maybe it's just, I don't know, it just happened. You never know. Just keep trying. Just okay, just still doing. She's still doing it, and she said like it's actually changed her like cramps, like like during the period stuff. She feels much better. Said like it's not even like what it used to be before. It's helped her a lot, and just overall, as I mentioned before, and what she likes, she doesn't need to kind of to go like online and ask someone, okay, what I have to do. You know that's IMAID is kind of covered the most of what you need. And this is just one of the bits. What she was impressed is that helped her during the period.
It's crazy how like you guys as a performance team, it is so important to find those like 1%ers. So we've mentioned like the training, the mental side, the diet, the supplements, the fitness, the mental coaches. Like there's just so many parts that go into it, which is, I mean, there's no surprise then talking to you fellas that she is world #1 and you are doing such a great job. Now I've got to ask, like you've both done the tennis thing yourselves. You've worked with some amazing athletes. Aryna's #1 in the world. What do you guys think makes her different? What makes Aryna world class?
Us.
Yeah, team.
Her coaching team.
It's only team.
That's it. Boom.
Yeah.
I would, if I can I start?
Yeah.
I would say that the biggest thing is that her personality is kind of that she is extremely motivated, and she is like if she tells you something, you can she's not gonna lie to you. So it can go like two extremes, but it helps a lot to work with her because you know what's her goal. She knows that she's gonna do everything that she's gonna need to do to be the best in the world. And it's easier just to work with her as you know that the feedback she's gonna give you straight away is gonna be it's gonna be true. It's not gonna lie to you. So because you can see like sometimes people can be kind of like it flows, trying to hide their feelings, blah blah. As soon as I think as we kind of created this bubble, the safe bubble, and she like open to share what she's going through, it's just easier for us to navigate her where she wanna be. And why she, and for us, it's also like easier because she is a fighter. Like she's not gonna be the one who's gonna quit if something's happening. Like, okay, yeah, it hurts today, like, or like, don't want to play. Yes, she just said it, and straight away she looking, okay, so okay, but what I have to do? Just help me. So, and you don't see it a lot. Like sometimes you can see people like they can be really extreme talented, great, like everything is like perfect, and then like on some tough days, you can see they're just not able to get this like extra step. But she is the one who is always trying to find what she can and how she can do it.
And what about you, Andrei, being on the other side of the net to her?
Yeah, I would say that Aryna is very straightforward person, which is sometimes very tricky for us. Yeah. But at the same time, we always hear the truthful opinion. You know, we, as Anton mentioned, we always see what she feels. We always, even sometimes when she's not saying anything, but we already see how she feels, and we're adjusting to that. So it helps a lot. But if to determine like Aryna and her success in one word, I would say it's discipline. Discipline is her biggest power, I would say, for sure. Because I would go really back in the days, and when we were practicing in Belarus in the National Tennis Academy, and we had the same fitness coach who was very not strict, but he was always giving huge loads, you know, and he was never controlling. He was never controlling. He say, "Okay, guys, you got to do like 100 push-ups or like anything." It's just an example. So, and all of us, group of I don't know, was 10, 15 people. We did like let's make it push-ups. So we did like 15, 20, 30, 40 push-ups, and then we're done, and we say, like, "Okay, we're done. We did all 100." And then we can see Aryna, who's always doing everything till the end. She can be pissed, she can be upset, she can tell you whatever she feels, but at the same time, she always doing. If she trusts the person that she thinks that the person is helpful, she will always do everything what she have to do to improve. So, and this is, yeah, also another example why her discipline is so good, because no matter how she feels, sometimes she's feeling sick, sometimes she's feeling stomach pain. There was an example when she played the quarterfinal of Roland Garros. She got food poison the day before, and she was still able to be on the court. She was struggling a lot, and she was still able to continue and finish the match. Yes, she didn't win it, but she gave her all for that. And same story on the practice. You know, like especially on the preseason when the loads are huge and you get tired, and the next day you still have to go and practice, and most of the days twice, and she feels sore, but she always finish her practice. She never skips. I think, you know, the funny part that we had the little deal with Aryna. So if she want to skip the practice, there is a rule for that. So she have a right to buy out a practice. But throughout the whole time that I've been working with her for 4 years, guess how many times she used it? Just once.
I'm going to say one, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the price? What's the buyout price?
I don't know if it was a material or it was she had to do something, but it was, yeah, that was the only one time when she's actually came to the practice. It was in Rome, and she's like, "Guys, I want to use the option." So yeah, that's
do you guys have the same option if you don't want to coach?
No.
Unfortunately not. Otherwise, I'm gonna use it all the time.
Once a week.
No, joking. Yeah, I just want to add just quickly that's discipline that we even sometimes we have to stop her because sometimes she's like, I have to do it, and she is like, she can be sick, and obviously she has to play like in 2 days, like the match. Like it's been like a thing like in Rome, like I don't remember what was the year, and we're like, you have like a high temperature right now, and it's like insanely hot right now.
Mm.
You're not gonna lose your tennis only because you're gonna skip one practice. And we just like, we said like, we're not gonna go. You can go, like it's your choice, but we're not gonna go. Just we're not gonna accept it. She's like, okay, okay. And then like on the match, she was like, because she was just like somewhere, like, she'd been losing the first set, and she was just like, just that's because I missed this practice, blah blah blah. She won the match then, and she's like, yeah, no, it's not because I missed the practice, but I was so pissed because I was losing. I need to find something.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like crazy behavior. But I think what a great lesson, right? Like for anyone in life who's listening, and that level of discipline to get to where you want to go. And as you say, Andrei, through sickness, through tiredness, sometimes to her own detriment, where you need to be stopped. But I think an important thing that you said also was when you trust the person and when you trust the work that you're doing. I think that's a massive thing that people sometimes skip over, is trusting that what you're doing is getting you better and moving you towards your objective. And it's being crystal clear in what that objective is and having the ultimate trust in the people that are helping you get there. And that's, not independent to tennis or sports, but any sort of walk of life. And I think it's hugely important. So finally, fellas, we're coming to the end of the episode, and I want to ask you a couple final questions. Now, these are you personally. I want to know, when all is said and done in your careers, in your lives, how would you both like to be remembered? Anton, we'll start with you.
Well, it's interesting. I would say that that's what I'm trying to do, and hopefully people will remember, is like the one that you can trust and rely on, because I'm trying to kind of taking care of people as much as I can. If I can see that something I can help with, and I'm not gonna kind of waiting for someone to ask me for help or something. I'm trying to start with some small details. If I can see that someone is chasing for someone, looking for something, like I'm like, okay, if I'm able to help it, I'm gonna do it. And I hope that people will remember me and appreciate that the time and energy I spent is kind of not just thinking about how I can help, but actually doing it. So this is the first thing that's in my head.
I love that. That's fantastic. Andrei, what about yourself?
Yeah, it was a good line, Anton.
Good luck following that.
Andrei is still here. I forget.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a hard, very philosophic question, but I don't know. Just what I'm trying to be remembered for it. It's always trying to improve, trying to, I don't know, to, yeah, as Anton mentioned, help people, because it's very important to not being just selfish, but bring something to the society as well, and also at the same time, you're here like not for a long time. Oh, we're going very philosophic now. But you gotta make something what you'll be looking back and you will say that I gave my all, and I just try to be, kind of do everything that you can, but also bring some joy in that, because work and life sometimes is very like hard, and people going through hard times, but you really need to work through whatever you're going, and just bring some joy, and try to be remembered for that you gave everything that you possible could.
I love that. Both fantastic answers. Well, fellas, it's been an absolute pleasure. You are living very abnormal lives. As you know, the podcast is called Abnormal. It's for normal people that want to do abnormal things. And the lessons that you've shared here today and the stories that you've told, I'm sure will inspire all the listeners who are looking to do something abnormal in their lives. So thank you so much for joining us. Good luck in the upcoming tournament in the Middle East. Let's get that dub. Let's get another win, and let's march on the rest of the season. So thank you, fellas. Good luck. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having us. It was fun.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Abnormal. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing to the channel and give us a 5-star review in whatever podcast platform you are listening or watching on right now, as it goes a long way to help growing the show. Thank you, and see you in the next one.